You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Breaking news this morning, fatalities and injuries after a gunman opened fire in a crowded bar in Southern California, the latest on this investigation.
It's an issue residents here on the Suncoast have had to deal with for months. Red tide, and it's now back. What beaches are being impacted the most?
Plus, an update this morning on Hurricane Michael recovery efforts for both the Panhandle and Southwest Georgia. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday morning. I'm Jess Daldrick.
And I'm Ray Collins. We start now with some breaking news.
Breaking news this morning, a mass shooting in a bar in Southern California. It happened at 2:30 a.m. in Thousand Oaks, which is about 40 miles west of LA. Right now, the SWAT team is in position. That's still an active scene there. At least 11 people are injured. We're now hearing fatalities. A deputy also injured. No word on their conditions. Witnesses say a man fired several shots from a handgun before tossing smoke bombs and shooting again. First responders are now able to go into the bar. Survivors were escorted out of the building. According to KABC in LA, they tweeted out that the sheriff's office believes the suspect is now dead. We also have found out this happened during a college country dance night. Live line dancing lessons going on at a college bar. It was full, the Borderline Bar and Grill. And that is the latest now, a shooting overnight while you slept, fatalities and injuries, the latest gun-related incident here in this country. And we'll continue to bring you updates as this developing story happens. But for now, let's head over to meteorologist John Scalzi with a look at your weather for the day.
Pretty much like we did yesterday in terms of our weather. We have some scattered showers to the north of us along a frontal boundary that is not heading our way. So the showers you see are basically where they'll be this afternoon when we take a look at noon. As far as the radar locally goes, it's quiet. We don't expect to see much in the way of rainfall today. Like yesterday, an isolated inland shower is possible, but it's not all that likely. Temperatures generally running about where they were yesterday as well. A little bit warmer perhaps, but daytime highs will be about the same. We'll look for 73 in Lakewood Ranch, 74 Sarasota, 73 in Bradenton. Could be some patchy fog developing in an hour or so in inland areas similar to what we saw yesterday. Other than that, we're just waiting for that cold front to arrive, and we'll talk about when it will in just a few. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic. First off, in Manatee County, some buildup on State Road 64 eastbound as you head toward the interstate. Also 301 northbound as you cross over 15th Street East. Farther south now, here's the scene in northern Sarasota County. Some congestion on 301 northbound as you head through Newtown and Clark Road. Looks like westbound around Beneva. And then our final map to the south will indicate nothing to report so far as of 5:03 now on this Thursday morning.
We had a little bit of a break, but now red tide is showing back up on beaches around the Suncoast. And the news couldn't be worse for some struggling businesses. Marla Spence is live now on Lido Key Beach with the latest on the situation out there. Marla?
Hey, Ray and Jess, from where I'm standing here on Lido Beach, there is currently no smell of red tide, but the FWC and the health department says otherwise with this sign right behind me saying red tide is still present here at the beach. Now, FWC also says that higher concentrations of the toxic algae are also up and down some Suncoast beaches, but not as bad or not as much as it was a few months ago. Now, as we all know, Suncoast is the big hot spot for snowbirds, and now that the season is here, some businesses are worried about how red tide will affect their business. Now, we spoke to the owner of Sarasota Paddleboarding Company on South Lido Beach. Bob McFarland says red tide hit his business pretty hard when the outbreak first started, but he says because red tide, he has seen some patchy effects over the area over the few months where some beaches are worse off than others, but he says his business has been steady.
It came in August, and it came in pretty hard. You know, it was one of the worst ones that I've seen. So it actually put us out of business for a few days, but we've worked through it. It could be, you know, today's a beautiful day here. We have a lot of people out on the water. So, but there is still red tide. So Manatee County, Sarasota County, different beaches, different wind flows, currents affect it every day. So it is something that we've worked through. You can have a beautiful day. You just have to be on top of what the wind directions are and what's going on.
And McFarland says he is hopeful that business will continue to pick up as snowbirds head to the Suncoast this season. He says he now recommends all his customers to call ahead of time to ask about beach and water conditions before they book and pay for a paddle ride. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Marla. You can find all of our Red Tide coverage, including answers to your most asked questions, online at mysuncoast.com, and then click on Red Tide. There is some good news on Lido Key. The city of Sarasota says an emergency infusion of sand will begin as soon as this weekend. Crews are staging equipment right now, and this project should take about 3 months to complete, they say. They'll pump sand from New Pass, which is adjacent to Longboat Key. A much bigger project is scheduled for next fall, taking sand from Big Pass, adjacent to Siesta Key. Erosion has become a big issue on Lido Key Beach.
Utility companies in Florida and the Panhandle now say all power has been restored in the counties devastated by Hurricane Michael. That is where it can be restored. The Public Service Commission says Wednesday was the first time in almost a month that utility companies reported no outages. Michael slammed into Florida's Panhandle on October 10th. The hurricane also impacted Georgia, the Carolinas, and Virginia. Almost 400,000 people lost power in Florida after that storm. As Southwest Georgians continue to pick up the pieces left behind in Hurricane Michael, FEMA is sending more help. New disaster recovery centers will open this week in Southwest Georgia. A FEMA spokesperson says those centers are the best and easiest ways residents can get more information.
We have DRC's disaster recovery centers opening up all over the place. There are 16 currently open. There are some more be opening, and that is the easiest place to get any face-to-face information.
Renters can also apply for FEMA disaster assistance.
A jury has been selected in the federal case against infamous drug dealer El Chapo. A total of 12 jurors, 5 men, 7 women, have been chosen, 6 alternates as well. Given the defendant's violent history, jurors will remain anonymous. On Wednesday, El Chapo asked the judge whether he could hug his wife before opening statements next week. He's yet to get an answer on that. El Chapo is facing charges on international drug trafficking, conspiring to murder rivals, gun charges, money laundering. To all this, he has pleaded not guilty. In the wake of school shootings in Broward County and across the country, a school in Pennsylvania is using artificial intelligence to detect guns. Reporter Alexandria Huff shows us how it works.
Inside Archbishop Wood High School in Warminster, there is an added layer of security within these security cameras.
When he came to me with this, I said, this is a great idea. Let's take a look at it. And it just overlays with an app into our system.
The he that school president Gary Zamaro is talking about is Chris Ciabatta, the son of longtime Archbishop Wood teacher. Ciabatta and Lisa Falzone created Athena Security, an idea aimed at preventing school shootings.
There's been a lot of advancements in artificial intelligence. And so basically what we do is use object and motion detection to recognize when someone pulls out a gun and alert on that.
The way this technology works is by picking up the image of a gun when it is presented. Now, this is not a real gun, but if it were, a video recording of this incident would be sent to police or administration in 3 seconds. In situations where seconds count, the Athena software detects any kind of firearm in view and can be installed in existing security systems.
So not just recording crime, but actually proactively preventing crime.
It is the first school in the country to utilize this technology. It's now been in place at Archbishop Wood for a month.
This is just another layer. It's more being proactive than reactive, but we never have to use it.
Athena's next venture in artificial intelligence, software that uses radar to detect concealed weapons.
An update now on the future of the Legacy Trail after Sarasota County voters approve a referendum to extend it for $65 million. The extension will connect Northport through Venice to downtown Sarasota and include improvements such as crossings, overpasses, amenities, and increased accessibility. The county says the extension will provide access to local neighborhoods and place 27 schools within 1 mile of the Legacy Trail.
Happening today, you can help feed the hungry and enjoy a hot meal at the same time. There are luncheons today and tomorrow. They're being hosted by Meals on Wheels and the Food Bank of Manatee County. The first one will take place at the Renaissance on 9th in downtown Bradenton. Tomorrow, similar event, Main Street and Lakewood Ranch. Both events begin at 11 a.m. Ticket prices are $30.
Happening today, one of Southwest Florida's largest independent medical practices will break ground on a new medical center in Englewood. The Millennium Medical Center will serve patients in both Sarasota and Charlotte counties. The groundbreaking ceremony will start at 8 o'clock on South McCall Road.
The Girl Scouts are suing the Boy Scouts for trademark infringement. At issue is the new name of the Boy Scouts. The group is changing their name to Scouts BSA and also welcoming girls. Well, the Girl Scouts think it's confusing and will cause some to think the Girl Scouts no longer exist as a separate entity. The lawsuit seeks monetary damages and a permanent injunction against trademark infringement. The Boy Scouts will not be selling cookies. Still ahead in Good Morning Suncoast, why did North Korea postpone a meeting with the U.S.? What's changed in that already fragile relationship?
And coming up a little later in the hour, caught on camera, an elderly man attacked in a carjacking. Why officials believe there was no motive.
It is 5:10 right now on this Thursday morning. We'll continue to track some breaking news in Southern California. But first, back in this area, let's check the beach forecast from John Scalzi.
I can see Marla out on the beaches reporting this morning, and certainly we have a beach forecast that looks inviting because of the nice temperatures involved in the general lower UV indexes, allowing you a little bit more security and not getting burned out there. 83 degrees at the beaches today as the winds turn a little bit westerly this afternoon. Now, the latest marine beach report came in yesterday afternoon, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 beaches all up and down our Suncoast that have a moderate amount of irritant in the air. And as the winds turn increasingly westward with sea breezes for the next several days, it could be an issue. We have the complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
Find out first at 4 on the Suncoast with ABC 7 News at 4. ABC 7 News at 4 starts with a detailed look at your first alert weather forecast to help you plan and prepare. We give you a fresh, fast-paced rundown of the day's top stories and videos, including breaking news, live updates, and traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC 7.
Be a Heart Walk hero. I'm Scott Dennis. Join ABC 7 and the American Heart Association for the 2018 Suncoast Heart Walk. It's Saturday, November 10th at J.D. Hamill Park. Walk with us to help raise funds to fight heart disease and stroke. Your support will help us advance life-saving breakthroughs that will keep more hearts beating. We can't save lives without your help. Register for free and walk with us to have fun and help hearts. For more information, visit suncoastheartwalk.org.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC 7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC 7 on Facebook. ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch ABC 7 wherever you are, on our live stream, on mysuncoast.com, on the ABC 7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, dining with recipes, and My Suncoast Restaurant Guide. Visit mysuncoast.com. Click on the Apps tab to download the ABC 7 My Suncoast app for Apple and Android. Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
That's a positive because the Fed says, okay, economies are good, people are making good money, and we can afford to raise the rates and not disrupt too much.
For the first time in a decade, interest rates are on the rise. How can this affect you, your family, and your house? I'm Alan Conewell, Nickel and Diamond at the Trapezoid.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Introducing the ABC 7 First Alert Weather Tracker. This all-new mobile weather lab is just one more way. The team you trust is keeping you ahead of the storms. The ABC 7 First Alert Weather Tracker, sponsored by Mr. Sparky, America's on-time electrician. ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So the dew point values are still very high, meaning lots of humidity in the atmosphere. That's keeping our temperature up just a little bit, and we have a 74-degree air temperature out there. In some places, it's about the same as it was yesterday, maybe a tad bit warmer. In other places, it's significantly warmer, coming in around 6 degrees above where we were. Northeast wind blows lightly at about 3. That will allow for a sea breeze to build once again this afternoon. Daytime highs will probably top out exactly where they were yesterday, or thereabouts, coming in at around 84, 85 degrees for a daytime high. That's where we were yesterday, 85. We'll look for a 7 a.m. temperature of 72, climbing into the 80s by the time you hit lunchtime. And again, late in the day, maybe an isolated inland shower, but that would be about it. The air is much too dry to produce much of anything else than an isolated shower, and that would be east of the interstate for sure. Everything on radar quiet right now. Morning commute should be just fine, with the exception that we'll be watching for some patchy fog development east of the interstate. Could happen, certainly, although we have a little bit more cloud cover around this morning that could help prevent the kind of fog that we had around yesterday for a time. We're looking at some areas of patchy rainfall to the north of us. We had some pretty good rain around the Tallahassee area yesterday. Now we're seeing those rain showers sunk a little bit further to the south, now moving closer to the Big Bend region, where there is a good chance of showers. But this is all along a frontal boundary that is definitely stalled out. So you're not going to see them sinking south into our area, that's for sure. Another area of disturbed weather back to the west, part of a frontal boundary which will be sinking southward. That will eventually draw in some drier, somewhat cooler air as we head into Saturday and Sunday. Couple of spots where there could be some severe weather today: the northern Florida border encompassing both Georgia and Alabama. Then back to the west in Texas, there's the slight potential of some severe weather there, marginal I should say. And then the same thing holds true tomorrow in parts of North Florida. That's associated with that frontal boundary sinking southward. Saturday, it looks like that front moving south into our area. We'll have a hard time even producing rainfall because the air will be too dry. So that's what we'll watch. The area of low pressure diving southward, a stalled frontal boundary to the north, bringing us several more days of this hot, humid weather. The front will not bring a whole lot of colder air, but it will bring some drier air, so it'll feel more comfortable, I think, as we head into Sunday and Monday and maybe even Tuesday. Certainly, we'll see a little bit of a cool down, maybe 3 or 4 degrees. That's about it. But we will see that drier air make it feel nice. Sun and cloud mix, isolated inland showers, and then cooler on Saturday. We'll look for a southwest wind today, giving you smooth conditions once again this morning on your bay and inland waters. Over the next several days, we'll watch for temperatures coming in around 85. Then on Saturday, we'll drop a couple of degrees, but some drier air moving in, so that'll feel good for a couple of days. I think we'll see that. And then a stronger cold front will be arriving on Tuesday. And that will give us a good rain chance, but it will also lower our temperature significantly. By the time we hit Wednesday, we'll have a daytime high only in the 70s, low 70s, and many places will see temperatures in the 60s. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Taking a look now at First Alert traffic. We begin in Manatee County, where you're seeing some slowdowns on US 301 if you're heading northbound right after you pass over State Road 70. Other than that, nothing major to report happening there. As we head south into Sarasota County, you're seeing some usual slowdown on University Parkway if you're heading westbound toward US 301. Other than that, smooth sailing in Sarasota County. And in southern Sarasota County, nothing to report at 5:18 on your Thursday morning.
We're continuing to track this breaking news out of Thousand Oaks, California, not too far from Los Angeles. We are now hearing that there was a shooting overnight. The suspect is said to be dead. However, the Washington Post and other outlets report that several of the people inside the bar were killed as well. Others were injured. This happened at a crowded college bar during country dance night at the Borderline Bar and Grill in Thousand Oaks. Again, a shooting in the bar overnight. Suspect believed to be dead now. Several patrons killed before that, though, and injuries as well. We'll continue to track this here on our TV station and also on mysuncoast.com. Jess?
Thanks, Ray. Our tensions brewing between the U.S. and North Korea. A previously scheduled sit-down between the two countries is postponed for now. John Lawrence tells us why.
Thursday's meeting between Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and a top aide for North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is on hold.
We're going to make it at another date. but we're very happy how it's going with North Korea. We think it's going fine. We're in no rush.
Analysts critiquing the administration's timing and announcing it during the thick of midterm election coverage.
When people are focused elsewhere is one way to distract attention from their failure to achieve a genuine breakthrough.
4 sources familiar with the talks say that Pyongyang pulled the plug, but the State Department says there's nothing sinister about the delay.
We're dealing with purely a scheduling issue, and it's as simple as that.
But there might be more to the situation than simply calendar issues. 2 diplomatic sources say the canceled meeting is a signal that North Korea isn't willing to cooperate with the White House's wish for North Korea to dismantle its nuclear capabilities.
The momentum for these negotiations has been slowing for several months. What we see ahead is real grind between the United States and North Korea.
President Trump says there will likely be a second summit with Kim in early 2019.
We're in a pretty good place right now. We are confident going forward. Scheduling issues can happen, but that's okay.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Amazon is mailing its first toy catalog. That story and much more in today's Tech Bite.
And next half hour, the search for a kidnapped North Carolina teenager has now extended to Florida, the reward being offered.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Ghetto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Ghetto location near you or visit Ghetto.com. Ghetto's got it.
Enjoy fine wine and great foods, all while supporting a great cause. It's the 17th annual Suncoast Food and Wine Fest, happening Saturday, November 10th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Premier Sports Campus in Lakewood Ranch. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample great food from the area's finest restaurants. All proceeds go to local charities and Rotary projects. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
You like to pay less. That's why you made Honda Accord the best-selling mid-size car in America. Get the redesigned Accord, the North American Car of the Year, or Civic, a KBB.com Best Buy for less than the competition. Like SUVs and trucks? Get Motor Trend's SUV of the Year, CRV, the 8-passenger Pilot, or Ridgeline truck for up to $4,240 less. Today at your local Honda dealer.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair? The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds. No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm going to show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
I'm a Florida voter.
I want to make sure my voice is heard.
Here in Florida,
we have 3 ways to vote.
Vote by mail.
Early voting.
and voting at the polls on Election Day. Make sure your voice is heard.
I'm Secretary of State Ken Detzner. Get ready, get set, vote.
Teachers inspire our children and promote a lifetime of learning. So ABC7 and Gettle Automotive want to honor these chalkboard champions by giving them the chance to win $500. But we need your help. Go to mysuncoast.com/chalkboardchampions to nominate an outstanding teacher who's really making a difference. And each month we'll deliver $500 to one teacher in Sarasota County and one teacher in Manatee County. Go to mysuncoast.com and nominate your chalkboard champion today.
All right, look at this disturbing surveillance video. Shows a group of 3 people violently attacking an elderly man in Las Vegas. It happened as the 78-year-old got out of his car to go to a restaurant. The men can be seen punching him. They stole his car keys, other belongings. Workers say they yelled at the thieves and scared them off. The man suffered from fractures around his eyes.
Provided no resistance, and yet these suspects savagely beat him, took his car keys, took his cell phone, and even after they retrieved all that, they went back and beat him some more.
Well, the good news is police said they did arrest 3 suspects in this case. Hard to watch that. All right, 5:25. We'll take a break right now and come back and have more news right here on Good Morning Suncoast.
Every week on Animal Outtakes, it's a new animal adventure.
Oh, I love being out here with the horses.
These are not your typical horses. These are, in fact, Mustangs. We're visiting the Wild Horse Rescue Center to see the work and gentle training that goes into getting these wild horses to this point. And...
Hey, bud, you remember me? Of course you don't, because fish don't have memories. Right?
Inspector Planet puts this theory to the test.
WWSB ABC7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now. Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
your child's classmate,
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
We have breaking news this morning. Right now, a suspect is on the loose, confirmed dead at this point by the sheriff's office in California. What we know about this active investigation so far.
Plus, what we're learning about the victim of that fatal bike crash now in Venice.
And happening today, there's a new flight launching out of Tampa. What you can expect, those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast. Welcome back, everyone. For those just joining us, we are following some breaking news out of California. There has been a mass shooting there. There are confirmed fatalities. Several people have been shot. We don't know numbers at this point, but the sheriff's office says that a suspect has been killed inside of the bar. There have been at least 11 people injured. That's the only number we have at this point. We don't know how many people have been killed. That shooter, again, is contained. We are told that there could be a press conference any minute. If that happens, we will take that live on our air and continue to keep you updated as this develops. Witnesses say a man fired several shots from a handgun before tossing smoke bombs and shooting. First responders are still helping escort survivors out of that building. Here's what some people witnessed inside of the bar.
I just started hearing these big pops, pop, pop, pop. There was probably 3 or 4. I hit the ground. I look up. The security guard's dead. Or I don't want to say dead, but he was shot. He was down. and the gunman was throwing smoke grenades all over the place.
Of course, this is a developing story, and we will keep you up to date as information is released.
Very tragic news there. It happened again in this country. Let's shift gears now and talk about the forecast from John Sculsey.
So yesterday we had some scattered patchy fog in inland areas, and we could certainly see that again today, although the cards are stacked a little more against that happening because of the extra cloud cover that we have around this morning. We also have some scattered showers to the north of us. No worries, those showers are not headed in our direction. We will have a chance of rain in the extended range forecast, which we'll discuss in a little while, but certainly not today. As far as the chances of rainfall today go, well, they're very minimal and exist only in inland areas as isolated showers, if they do develop, late in the afternoon. Rain chance about 10%, similar to what we saw yesterday. We're looking at temperatures, though, that are slightly warmer, 74 degrees in Sarasota, 72 in Bradenton, 73 in Venice. That represents about a 5-degree increase over 24 hours ago at this time in some locations. In other locations, it's exactly the same. Really depends on whether or not you're getting the cloud cover during the overnight and whether or not you're closer to the coastline where the temperatures are indeed a bit warmer. 84 we'll go with for a temperature at about 3 p.m. this afternoon. Again, I don't think through this time period you're going to see much in the way of a rainfall chance. If the rain showers pop up in an isolated way east of the interstate, it'll probably be around 5, 6, 7 o'clock this evening. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Let's check the roads now. First off, first alert traffic showing us the situation in Manatee County. A little blip there on 301 northbound as you cross over State Road 70, otherwise clear in Manatee County. Farther south, some issues there on University Parkway already westbound as you cross over the Cooper Creek area and head toward Honore. Also on Bee Ridge Road westbound from Tuttle on toward US 41. And then our final map to the south will show nothing to report so far as of 5:31 on your Thursday morning. New details now on that now fatal accident in Venice involving 4 bike riders. Troopers have released the name of the man who was killed in that crash last week on Center Road. They say 57-year-old William Harrison died of injuries after he was struck by a car on that road. 2 of the 4 other bicyclists are still at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. A 4th has since been released. Troopers say the riders were in the bike lane but moved toward the left as a car was coming up from behind. The accident is still under investigation.
FHP is investigating another accident involving a bicyclist in Venice. This one happened yesterday morning on Capri Isles Boulevard and Waterford Drive. A man was hit by a truck. Witnesses say the driver took off and the man was taken to Sarasota Memorial Hospital for treatment. Venice police are still looking for that driver.
As you can see from the bike, it's not like as if the truck actually ran over the bike by the looks of things, and it didn't stop, so which is a shame, which is a real shame. I hope they find the person that did it, or he hands himself in.
Venice police say this is an ongoing investigation.
Dozens of children were witnesses to a fight between 2 mothers in Northport this week. The fight broke out at the corner of Arrow Avenue and Eager Street, just steps away from where both women live. Their kids, along with dozens of others, were waiting for their school bus to take them to Glen Allen Elementary School. Neighbors say it began with hair pulling and punches. Then they took it a step further, breaking a coffee mug and using it as a weapon. We spoke to one of the mothers involved.
We were both in the wrong. It should have never happened. But at the end of the day, she wasn't letting me leave that bus stop without a fight. And I had to protect my children and myself, because at the end of the day, that's what matters.
So making sure that, some of these kids who witness this, that they're getting the proper treatment, and if they need any type of support services, that's available for them.
Police are still trying to figure out who started that fight, but the violent exchange left both women hospitalized.
The search for a kidnapped North Carolina teen has now extended to Florida. 13-year-old Haina Noela Aguilar is still missing. Police say she was abducted Monday while standing outside her family's mobile home. The FBI announced this week that they are now offering a cash reward in exchange for information.
I also want to announce the FBI is offering a reward of up to $15,000 for information that leads investigators to the location of Hanya.
Witnesses say Aguilar was taken against her will by a suspect wearing a black and yellow bandana around his face. Aguilar has black hair, brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a blue shirt with flowers and blue jeans.
It is 5:34 right now. On Capitol Hill, a record number of women have won seats in the House. And female candidates also did well in the Senate and in governor's races. CNN's Kayang La reports.
The cheers we heard for Iowa Democrat Abby Finkenauer began as laughter.
Yeah, there were people who laughed me out of rooms because they thought, okay, she's 28 years old, paying off student loans, comes from a working class family, no money of her own to put into this.
No one's laughing anymore at Congresswoman-elect Finkenauer, part of the record wave of women elected to Congress. Americans voted in more than 100 women to the House of Representatives, a red to blue flip powered mostly by Democratic women. It's a political claiming of power that rose out of the populist Women's March in response to the Trump presidency. Marching became running for office. First-time candidates like Mikey Sherrill campaigned with her powerful personal story as a Navy veteran.
Does that open the door?
I think it does. If you're a veteran and you've always put this country first, I think that gives people the sense that you'll continue to do so.
Cheryl, now the Congresswoman-elect from New Jersey's 11th District.
When I was a little elementary school kid, we lived here.
Alyssa Slotkin, who worked for the State Department, never considered running for office until the House voted to repeal the Affordable Care Act.
You can't expect those people to reorient and become better leaders. You have to replace them with people who are willing to fight, who are willing to actually give a crap. You may want to get tested.
She replaces her congressman, elected to represent Michigan's 8th congressional district.
Tonight we made history.
The 116th Congress will not just be more female, but more diverse. New Mexico's Deb Haaland and Sharice Davids of Kansas make history as the first Native American women in Congress. And elected as the first Muslim women in Congress, Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib. Women voters broke for Democrats by 19 points over Republicans. One of the night's biggest surprises, Kendra Horn's victory in deep red Oklahoma.
Representation matters. Oklahoma is 49th in the nation for women serving in elected office, and we need different voices at the table to enact good policy.
There's an update to the ongoing beautification project in downtown Venice in an effort to speed up its completion. The contractor has hired an additional crew. Starting tomorrow, crews will be removing the curbs, installing tree cells, and replacing the sidewalk on the 200 block of westbound West Venice Avenue. This means anyone driving through the area should expect delays. Westbound West Venice Avenue will be closed from just west of Nokomis Avenue to Nassau Street. Motorists will be able to use Nokomis Avenue to Tampa Avenue as a detour during this closure.
There is a new flight from Tampa, not your typical commercial airline either. Happening today, Southern Airways Express is launching a new kind of flight to West Palm Beach. The 9-seat Cessna aims to give passengers a more private plane type of experience. Passengers will be able to bypass the terminal check-ins and also bypass TSA as well. It's a 1 hour and 20-minute flight back and forth between West Palm Beach and Tampa. The flight will operate about 3 times a day.
Researchers say attracting aliens to Earth could be as easy as leaving a very large porch light on. The Massachusetts Institute of Technology released this image along with a study by MIT researchers. The study suggests the light from a laser could spark interest from extraterrestrials if they exist. The powerful laser would be focused through a telescope aimed toward space. That may produce a light strong enough to stand out from energy produced by the sun. Wouldn't you think we'd want to confirm if they're extraterrestrials before we confirm how we attract them to
And then
Earth?
don't leave your porch light on during turtle hatchling season either, by the way. 5:39 right now. It's not gone away yet. We still have an update on red tide, a live report for you straight ahead from Lido Key Beach.
Now we're taking a live look outside over the city of Sarasota for more of what we can expect today. Here's meteorologist John Scalzi.
So I think we'll be seeing temperatures which are already running a little bit above average top out today, well above average, coming in at about 84 degrees or so, 85 by about 3 o'clock. Slight little chance of a shower, but I have not checked the rain box because I think it'll be a very minor incident. It'll be mostly in inland areas and isolated, probably in forested areas. Looking for temperatures in the mid-70s, dry to work on the way home, humid, but relatively dry, coming in with temperatures in the low 80s. Your complete forecast in a minute.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook. Introducing the ABC7 First Alert Weather Tracker. This all-new mobile weather lab is just one more way. The team you trust is keeping you ahead of the storms. The ABC7 First Alert Weather Tracker, sponsored by Mr. Sparky, America's on-time electrician. Tonight on ABC7 News at 7.
That's a positive because the Fed says, okay, economies are good, people are making good money, and we can afford to raise the rates and not disrupt too much.
For the first time in a decade, interest rates are on the rise. How can this affect you, your family, and your house? I'm Alan Conewell, Nickel and Diamond at the Trapezoid.
Tonight on ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
I'm a Florida voter. I want to make sure my voice is heard.
Here in Florida, we have 3 ways to vote.
Vote by mail.
Early voting.
And voting at the polls on Election Day.
Make sure your voice is heard.
I'm Secretary of State Ken Detzner. Get ready, get set, vote.
Find out first at 4 on the Suncoast with ABC7 News at 4. ABC7 News at 4 starts with a detailed look at your First Alert weather forecast to help you plan and prepare. We give you a fresh, fast-paced rundown of the day's top stories and videos, including breaking news, live updates, and traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC7. Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
We've got a 74-degree air temperature, a little bit of cloudiness out there. Northeast wind blows lightly at about 3, and the dew point value is still warm, coming in at around 72 degrees. We're in for another warm, steamy kind of afternoon, I think, with these dew point values rising to near summer-like temperatures. I think as we head into probably the weekend, we'll start to see those dew points drop back down into the 60s, which will feel very comfortable. I think everybody will like that a lot. Temperatures by 7 a.m. coming in at around 72 degrees. We'll watch them climb steadily into the 80s once again today and top out probably about where they were yesterday, within a degree or two. We're looking at 84 degrees by about 3 p.m. Yesterday we hit 85. Probably do about that again today. Looking for about a 10% chance of a shower as we head into the afternoon. Similar to yesterday, those will be mostly in inland areas east of the interstate, and they'll be isolated at most. Looking at quiet conditions on radar right now, again, we might see a little bit of patchy fog developing in inland areas today, but today, unlike yesterday, we have a little bit of cloud cover as well, so that's helping to keep our temperatures a little more elevated, and that tends to reduce the risk of some fog around the area. We have scattered showers to our north, That's all associated with that frontal boundary that has stalled out there. It's the one that came through and brought us that cooler air and brought us that little bout of severe weather last Friday. Then sunk south, lifted back north as a warm front, stalled out, and it's defying odds by still hanging around. It hasn't really dissipated yet, and it's still kind of creating a boundary that's producing those scattered showers that we see there. It will eventually be pushed back through our area this weekend, but not until it gets a little push. And that push will come from another frontal boundary that's in the forming stages back to the west up near Wichita right now. It'll sink southward, dive into the deep south, producing the potential of some severe weather back toward Texas today, and eventually bring that severe weather threat closer to the Florida border, North Florida border. As a little area of low pressure kind of ripples along that stalled frontal boundary, eventually exiting off the Atlantic coast by Friday. I don't think Saturday will be any issue whatsoever as the front finally makes it through our area. The air will be too dry, and I don't think we'll see a thunderstorm risk or even really much of a rain chance risk. There's our frontal boundary, stalled out as I mentioned. The next front diving southward, producing showers and thunderstorms at this hour. But look what's behind it. Snow showers. Yep, there's some colder air back behind that, but most of it's going to glide eastward. We'll get a little taste of it. It will drop our temperatures a little bit, but it's not the big blast of cold air that some of you have been hoping for, or at least cooler air. That will arrive probably next week, and it will indeed lower our temperatures for the first time, really, to below average for a relatively extended period of time, for 4 or 5 days perhaps. So today, sun-cloud mix. We'll see that occurring throughout the afternoon with an isolated shower, probably late in the afternoon into the evening hours. And then cooler Saturday with drier air moving in, making it feel even more comfortable despite the fact that the temperatures won't still be either at or even slightly above the average for this time of year. That drier air will make it feel nice. Southwest wind at about 5 knots, turning to the northwest at about 5 knots. Smooth conditions on bay and inland waters. Should be a nice day for boating. Over the course of the next several days, we stay warm, much warmer than average by about 6 to 8 degrees. And then on Saturday, that's slightly cooler, slightly drier air starts to move in, and it's around on Sunday. Sunday looks like it's going to be a great day. Maybe a chance of rain showers a little bit stronger on Tuesday as that next more significant front moves in. That lowers our daytime high on Wednesday to only 70, so it'll be a little bit cooler than average starting the midweek next week. Back to you, Ray.
All right, thank you, John.
Taking a look at first alert traffic now. We begin in Manatee County. Nothing major to report. Some slight slowdown you can see on I-75 as you're heading northbound out of Sarasota County into Manatee County. Other than that, your usual delays on US 41 as you head north. In Sarasota County, your usual delays on University Parkway if you are heading westbound toward US 301. Other than that, everything's running smoothly in Sarasota County. The northern half and the southern half looks exactly the same at 5:47 on your Thursday morning. We had a little bit of a break, but now red tide is showing back up on beaches around the Suncoast.
This has been going on now off and on for 5 months in the area, and businesses are struggling in many parts of the Suncoast. Let's get a live update from Lido Key Beach, where our Marla Spence is standing by. Marla?
Hey, Ray and Jess, from where I'm standing, there seems to be no smell of red tide, but from this side, it says that it's still very present here on Lido Beach. Now, the FWC says higher concentrations of toxic algae are impacting different beaches up and down the Suncoast, but not as much as it was a few months ago. As we all know, the Suncoast is a big hot spot for snowbirds, and now that the season is here, some businesses are worried about how red tide will impact their business. We spoke to the owner of Sarasota Paddleboarding Company on South Lido Beach. Bob McFarland says red tide hit his business pretty hard when the outbreak first started, but he says because the red tide has been patchy over the past few months where some beaches are worse off than others, he's been able to have steady business and is excited about snowbirds heading back to the Suncoast this season.
We're looking forward to a good winter spring season. I do check with some of the hotels too, so I mean they're going to come. And the red tide is diminishing, and it's we can work with it at the stages that it is right now. When it did come to back up in August, we have a great summer season here. It hurt in August. Fortunately, September is not a busy month in town, so it hurt the restaurants, it hurt our business, it hurt the hotels, but it would be way worse, if it was March, April, or July, or some of the really, really the best times. We're looking forward to Thanksgiving and Christmas, which are really, the holidays, which are a really big push for us.
And McFarland also tells us that he's been recommending that his customers call ahead of time to ask about beach and water conditions before they book and even pay for a paddle ride. He also tells us that he's been receiving calls in reference to red tide, whether it's been present at his location or not. We also spoke to a property rental company to ask them whether they've seen or had any phone calls of cancellations from snowbirds heading back this season, and they told us they only have received one cancellation. Reporting live at Lido Key Beach, I'm Marla Spence for ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, thank you, Marla. For all of our red tide coverage, including answers to your questions, go online to mysuncoast.com and click on Red Tide.
Amazon is releasing its first toy catalog for the holiday season.
Details in today's Tech Bites.
Amazon goes low tech. The online giant is mailing a printed toy catalog to millions of customers. Amazon hopes to get a piece of the market that Toys R Us once had. But the Holiday of Play catalog isn't all low tech. It includes audio gear and game consoles. And Samsung has unveiled its foldable screen smartphone. The phone folds like a book and opens up to tablet size, using what Samsung calls Infinity Flex Display technology. The company says it'll be able to start mass production in a matter of months. And here's a way to save time in the morning, a robot that can apply your makeup. The robot made its debut at a trade show in China, applying makeup to this mannequin. The robot's arm can use mascara, brushes, and various makeup tools. No word whether it'll be for sale in the U.S. anytime soon. Those are your Tech Bites.
I'm a veteran. We hit a mine in Vietnam.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
My victory's been never giving up hope.
DAV helps veterans of every generation get the benefits they've earned.
I finally admitted, with my PTSD, I wasn't doing well.
So veterans can reach victories, great and small.
Now I wish I'd found DAV sooner. My victory is just enjoying each day.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
You don't want to cancel your plans. Cancel your cold. The one-pill power of new Advil multi-symptom cold and flu knocks out your worst symptoms. Cancel your cold, not your plans. New Advil multi-symptom cold and flu. It's Macy's Veterans Day mattress sale with our lowest prices on mattresses from Serta, Sealy, Beautyrest, and more. Get Beautyrest Queen mattresses starting at $397, plus free delivery with a minimum purchase of $787. Now at Macy's.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Ghetto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Ghetto location near you or visit Ghetto.com. Ghetto's got it.
Bugs, mice, no smoke detectors.
Well, it's appalling, and it's unacceptable.
A daily struggle, living in deplorable conditions.
There's no way you can cool these rooms because there's no unit.
The landlord, the federal government. Billions of your tax dollars spent, but where's it going?
The federal government keeps throwing money at the problem and getting the same results.
Watch Failure to Fix tonight on ABC7 News at 6.
Teachers inspire our children and promote a lifetime of learning. So ABC7 and Ghetto Automotive want to honor these chalkboard champions by giving them the chance to win $500. But we need your help. Go to mysuncoast.com/chalkboardchampions to nominate an outstanding teacher who's really making a difference. And each month we'll deliver $500 to one teacher in Sarasota County and one teacher in Manatee County. Go to mysuncoast.com and nominate your chalkboard champion today.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds. No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
Be a Heart Walk hero. I'm Scott Dennis. Join ABC7 and the American Heart Association for the 2018 Suncoast Heart Walk. It's Saturday, November 10th at J.D. Hamill Park. Walk with us to help raise funds to fight heart disease and stroke. Your support will help us advance life-saving breakthroughs that will keep more hearts beating. We can't save lives without your help. Register for free and walk with us to have fun and help hearts. For more information, visit suncoastheartwalk.org. You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore two hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
We're continuing to follow some breaking news this morning.
A shooting at a bar near Los Angeles. Here is the press conference.
Times with gunfire. The Highway Patrol officer stepped back and secured the perimeter until additional units arrived, and he rescued the sheriff's sergeant out of the line of gunfire. When additional units arrived, including SWAT personnel, agencies from the Oxnard Police Department, the Simi Valley Police Department, the Ventura Police Department, and additional officers from the Highway Patrol, they made entry into the Borderline Bar and Grill. They found 11 victims that had been killed. The suspect, who we believe was the only suspect, was dead inside. And there were multiple other victims of different levels of injury inside that were rescued from the scene and taken to local hospitals.
Okay, again, college night at the bar in Southern California, 11 killed, suspect dead. More news next on Good Morning Suncoast.